Hi, this is Michael Buckoff from BetterTOEFLScores.com, and right now I want to talk about making connections among ideas during your TOEFL speaking and writing tasks. Now, since part of your grade on these speaking and writing tasks will be based on your ability to use grammar and vocabulary accurately, it makes sense that not only do you choose words to connect ideas together, but make sure you use the right word in the right context. Today, I want to talk about 4 words: so, therefore, because, and due to. These all have the same meaning, but they work differently grammatically, and you'll find out even rhetorically they're not exactly the same. So is what's called a coordinating conjunction. Typically, you'll have a subject and a verb here, then you'll have so, you'll have another subject and another verb. Now, a lot of people don't even realize this, but the purpose of using a coordinating conjunction is to join ideas of equal emphasis. That's what I call the rhetorical aspects of it. So if you have 2 main ideas you consider both important, this is a great connector to use. Notice the comma before the conjunction. Okay, therefore. Therefore is referred to as a transition word. In this case, you'll usually have like a subject plus a verb, then you'll have a period. You'll have therefore, and then typically you'll have the comma, and then you'll have the second independent clause here. Now, this is kind of like so, except here you have 2 separate sentences. Notice the sentence here, your second sentence here. So why would you use this one over the other? If you have 2 sentences that you think are important enough to stand alone and you don't want to combine them, you might use therefore. Now, it's also possible to do it this way. You'll see this quite common in writing. You'll have a subject and a verb, the semicolon. Notice not the comma, but the semicolon works better. You'll have therefore, you'll have a comma, and then you have the subject and a verb there. Okay, because. Because is known as a subordinating conjunction, which by its very nature, it introduces what's called a dependent clause, which means a support idea. So typically, you'll have a subject and a verb, then you have because plus subject plus verb again there, or you can have because plus subject plus verb here, then you have your main part of the sentence here. Now, in this case, these 2 ideas are not equal. So if you have an idea which is more important than another, the because subordinating conjunction works much better. And finally, you have due to. This is known as a preposition. Now, as you probably know, that prepositions introduce noun phrases, so it's possible to use something like due to plus the noun phrase, and then you'll have your subject and your verb, or you could use, in this case, your subject and verb, and then you have due to plus your noun phrase here. Now, I think there are some similarities here. Excuse me. Is due to and because are similar because they introduce ideas which are not important, are not the most important ideas. They don't create what's called the independent clause. They create either a dependent clause or they create a phrase. Now, therefore and so are similar because they join ideas of equal emphasis. So I think that's what I mean by rhetorical, the rhetorical nature of these connectors. So you'll notice with the 4 connectors, you have so, therefore, you have because, and due to, that essentially they have the same meaning, but grammatically they work quite differently, as you see in these sentences. So is a coordinating conjunction. Scientists attend conventions annually so they can improve their knowledge of interplanetary theory. Again, as you see here, the first sentence is scientists attend conventions annually, And then you have they can improve their knowledge of interplanetary theory. Now, of course, there's different ways of doing this. I mean, you might be thinking in your mind, they can improve their knowledge of interplanetary theory, so scientists attend conventions annually. Obviously, you can do that too. Therefore, as I stated, is a transition word. Scientists attend conventions annually. That's the first sentence, period. Then you have therefore, your comma, and then you have they can improve their knowledge of interplanetary theory. Because as a subordinating conjunction, because scientists attend conventions annually, they can improve their knowledge of interplanetary theory. Obviously, you can put this at the end. They can improve their knowledge of interplanetary theory because scientists attend conventions annually. You can switch it up depending on what you think the main idea or support idea is. Okay, due to, as I said, is a preposition. Now, this is the one that probably you're avoiding this. Either you don't know how to use it at all, or you're scared that if you try, you'll make a grammatical mistake. And obviously for TOEFL speaking and writing, you want to avoid errors. But let me see if I can explain how it works. But first of all, you have due to, which is a preposition, which means you do need a noun phrase, or what's called the object of the preposition. Now, the only way to take scientists attend conventions is to change it to their attending. It means the scientists attending conventions. So I use a possessive word here. This is what's called a gerund phrase. So the possessive word modifies the gerund phrase, and then I would complete it with, due to their attending conventions annually, scientists can improve their knowledge of interplanetary theory. That would be another way to do it. All right, in conclusion, I've talked about how it's important in your TOEFL speaking and writing to express connections among ideas. It helps make your speaking more organized and your writing more organized, and it shows the TOEFL iBT human raters that you have good control of your grammar and also your word choice. So we've talked about so, therefore, because, and due to. These are four kinds of words with the same meaning, but as we said, they differ grammatically. Now what you want to do is make sure you have a list of coordinating conjunctions. Make sure you have a good list of transition words. Make sure you have a good list of subordinating conjunctions. Make sure you have a good list of prepositions. And then use these and practice these in your speech, in your speaking, and in your writing, so that you'll be ready to have good grammar and good vocabulary during your TOEFL iBT test-taking experience. And that is how you get a better TOEFL score. For more information, go to www.bettertoeflscores.com.